through. And really what we're going to talk about here is just the lead arm, how that is going to load in the backswing and then kind of unload in the follow through. We'll do this a couple of different ways. We're going to look at a dry drill first, and just the concept of what the lead arm should do, and then also a way that you can kind of practice this and build this into a full swing motion. So first let's talk about the lead arm and the roll. And you're doing a great job with how you use your wrists. Some of the folding of the right arm's definitely improved, and I like where your club face is. So we're not going to touch really any of those points and just discuss, how we can practice this lead arm. So if I have my lead arm across my chest, it has a connection. If I stood out in front of the camera so you can see this here, we've got the ability to overextend the left arm or kind of pull it out of its joint there almost and kind of retract it back in. So I would say in your setup, you're in pretty good shape here, but as you go back, you kind of overextend the lead arm and it doesn't really get back into position as far as getting back on this side of the body where it started. It tends to stay on this side because again it's kind of pulled across or overextended. So if I have my left arm out here and if I kept the connection here and I just rotated back, you'll notice that it looks a lot softer, or it doesn't look like it's overextended or pulled out of the joint. I think that's a very important key for you. Placing a tee or a glove under the lead arm, maybe even just grabbing your shirt here and just tucking it under is a great little idea for you, because what it's going to do is just give you a good sense of, if I can keep this softness to the lead arm as I swing back, you'll notice that my arm or my shoulder actually looks a lot more under my chin. In yours, when it gets overextended, it kind of starts to hit into your chin. But the real key for you is keeping this lead arm more connected to the shoulder as we go back. And I'd like to see you go back kind of halfway here. And as we come down, as you start to kind of rotate, get used to kind of throwing the lead arm off the chest. Now, a good thought or idea, and I'll just do this without a club first. Again, just going to shorten the lead arm a little bit. Keep it at this length the whole time, just to halfway back. And as we start to come down into a transition move, you'll notice here that I'm kind of covering the logo here. And as we start to come down, we're going to just throw that lead arm off the chest. So you can now see, I can see all of the logo as I come into impact. So it's very important for you. So cover the logo, expose the logo. Now, if we're talking a little bit about the lead wrist, we also want to just practice kind of flexing this or bowing this as we transition. So crossing the chest, open up the chest, and bow that lead wrist. And essentially what we're doing is we're loading the left arm across the chest, unloading it with a little bit of flexing as we come into the ball. And that's something that you can start to practice with a club. I like starting out doing left arm or lead arm only drills. So if I just hold it in my lead arm and just make practice swings, again, where we keep this connection, little softer lead arm to halfway back. You'll notice there's a lot of space here between my chin and my shoulder and my chin. As I come down, I'm going to throw the left arm off the chest. And to the best of your ability, I'm going to try and keep that lead wrist flexed. And then you can start to hit some shots that way. So halfway back, keep it soft. And just try and throw that lead arm off the chest as you're rotating around. Don't get too stressed if the contact's not great on these at the beginning. Just try and get a sense of that movement. When you start to get two hands back on the club, you'll be able to coordinate that a lot more easily. So I'd do that as a kind of building block. Start off just feeling the lead arm, maybe some left arm only swings, and then you can actually start to hit some shots. Now I like when you're hitting just to go halfway back, soften it, feel the shoulder under the chin, and then get to a point where you can throw that lead arm off the chest. A little bit of left wrist bowing, and that's going to really strengthen the impact and get you into a much more solid hitting position. So try that. Again, as a little stepping stone, lead arm only first, introduce left arm only, and then two hands, trying to create that same feeling as you go through impact.